Hi everyone, Alex here, back with the TVR. As you can see, body is now off. If you haven't seen the first video I did, please go and view it now. I did a time lapse of me removing it. Hopefully this video will be a bit better image and sound quality, but we'll see about that. We're now moving on to restoring the chassis, and I'll take you through a couple of things. Okay, so as you can see, there's not actually very much to these chassis. They are very prone to rusting on these outrigger sections here. However, the backbone, which is this central section, is a lot more resilient, and this car is no exception. It has been pretty resilient considering it's an early one. There's no major corrosion beyond surface corrosion to deal with on the core of the car. However, yes, the outriggers are horrendous. We'll see how horrendous once they're kind of cleaned up. The pressure washer might even go through them, which should be interesting. This particular car isn't going to be having a full chassis restoration, in that the outriggers will be removed, new ones fabricated and changed, but this backbone of the car is going to stay mostly assembled. I'm going to be cleaning it up and painting it the best I can without removing many more components, and this is to sort of stop the surface corrosion, and it looks nice too. On this car, the wishbones and all the corners of suspension will be coming apart because they will be getting treated and coated separately. There'll be new dampers going on. It will generally look very close to a full chassis restoration, but it's a reasonable amount less work than that, so I'm sure the customer will be very happy. To kick things off, it's going to be a lot of cutting cable ties. They're quite well hidden because they get covered in dirt, but TVR used to get through a ton of cable ties. This is all factory issue, holding brake pipes, fuel pipes on. Last time I rebuilt one of these, I used 150 putting it back together, so that kind of gives you the idea of the volume that are actually hidden away in this. And then once those are cut off, we're taking it off the axle stands, willing it to by the door. I'll be hitting it with some AutoSmart Plus 10, which is a solvent degreaser, letting it soak for a bit, agitating it with a brush, then with some liberal dosing of AutoSmart G101, which is a all-purpose cleaner, very, very strong, but you can dilute that one as weak as you like. You can't dilute the Plus 10, so it works out quite expensive using the Plus 10, but you have to kind of use it just where you need it. And then I'll hit it with a pressure washer and we'll see what we have left over. Okay, so that's the chassis fairly clean. It will be having another deep clean again before I put any coatings on it. And now's the time to tackle the rust on the vehicle. People, when they change outriggers on TVRs, will cut them off at these kind of rails here, and replace the entire outrigger. Personally, that's not for me because it's really hard to do it neatly and not introduce a lot of heat to the fairly crucial box section chassis rails at the same time. So I prefer to cut the outriggers at kind of roughly halfway point, as long as there's good metal towards the chassis from it. So I cut them round about halfway and put a sleeve running all the way to the box section, to the outside of the outrigger, and then another tube over the top. And then by the time it's welded up and cleaned up, you wouldn't know that there's any kind of join there, and you wouldn't know it wasn't the original outrigger either. I prefer that cleaner look. I also think it's a bit stronger as well, because I use a 3mm thick sleeve tube, and the original TVR tubing is 2mm thick. With the replacement section on the outside of the sleeve, on the very outer of the outrigger, I use a 2.65mm cold drawn seamless tube. So actually it's very, very, very slightly heavier, but it's significantly stronger and more rust resistant than the original. So that's what I do. So the next thing for me is to measure all of the important hard points on these outriggers in reference to the floor, because it's not going to move at all now for a few days until the fabrication is finished. So yeah, I'll measure to the floor with these outriggers. I aim for within 2mm. Any more than that, I start to have problems. Any less than that, and it's pointless trying to be less, because TVR, when they fabricated these, there's up to 2 centimetres difference in some of these dimensions, which is quite funny. So yeah, measure from the floor, and then I'm going to start cutting. So we'll crack on. Okay, so that's most of the metalwork done. So I've got to tidy up some bits and drill the holes before coating the outriggers. This prevents the paint coming off when you actually put the bolts through, and that can start corrosion. One thing I do have to do is put the seatbelt mounts on, which sit about there. But I'll have something to show you because this is an early car. There's a bit of a difference. So normally I cut the outrigger and inset this kind of threaded boss into the tube. However, on this car, because it's an earlier car, it's combined with the roll bar mount, the rollover bar mount, which means I've got to fabricate like a natty little thing that I don't normally do, so I'm going to put that in the video as well. However, if my battery dies, of course I won't. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so that was the fabrication of the new outriggers. As you can see, it's already looking a lot better. You can see the seatbelt mounts, which are obviously a bit different on this car, as I just explained. They're all made quite a lot nicer than the standard ones. But yeah, it's already looking pretty good. The next video will cover the stripping of these suspension corners down, removal of some other bits from the chassis, preparing the whole lot, and doing my best to coat it as thoroughly as possible, and then some of the rebuild as well. So please subscribe and join me for that video if you like this one and the one prior. Cheers. Bye bye.